Hello everyone, and welcome to week 7. It's our final week together for this Technology in the Classroom online course. I just would like to start off by expressing my appreciation for all your effort, all the time you have taken, great conversations, very thoughtful and mature projects that you have developed. I've been extremely pleased with each of your assignments. The one thing that I will also compliment you on is how you continue to ask questions. Some of you actually, went beyond what I was looking for with a lot of your the resources shared, and that's awesome to see. It's a great feeling for me to know that you've taken an interest in some of this stuff and seen the possibility of how it works and want to continue to explore it. And for that, I want to express my gratitude for. I also want to express the my willingness to help you in the future. As you take some other classes, whether it come here on campus for your interview process, feel free to drop me a note. Let me know how things are going. Feel free to ask me questions. Catch me on email, catch me on Twitter. All the different things. I will not be removing your account from Edmodo. If you would be interested in still contributing or even adding to conversation with other classes, feel free to. You're not required to, obviously. But I just want to leave all those avenues open that you've been introduced to so you can go back and revisit and explore further and be able to take advantage of those resources. I don't like, when conversations are, well, the bell is rung, that's the end of it today, and then we start something new and forget everything that we've talked about. Now, that's difficult to do in a lot of ways in an online class, but hopefully there's resources out there you've come across that will allow you to continue to learn, continue conversations, and continue to strengthen yourselves as an educator. And with that, let's take a look at week 7, our final week. Now, your course project. This is the final thing that I've used with my previous classes. I've taken a real interest in it because it puts you in the role of applying for an actual teaching position, or in this case, a virtual scenario. You're applying for a teacher role. You'll find the course project description right here. And with this, you're going to find the scenario. Superintendent Mathis is looking to hire educators to do a strong understanding and implementation of the 21st century skills. Now, keep in mind your LODI survey and your results, some of the conversations we've had there. Keep in mind the NETS, National Educational Technology Standards for teachers and students. Those would be some points that you may want to talk about. And of course, keep in mind not just the conversations or resources that we've shared in Edmodo, but those that you've learned from your surveys, some of the surveys itself, your digital storytelling projects. All of those could be pieces that you could add to your Glogster resume, or I could say e-portfolio type project. I decided against the live binders. I went ahead and went with Glogster as A, it's something new, and B, it's a little easier for you, especially for those of you that are not as technology advanced as some of your other classmates. But in this, you'll see I've got 9 questions there. Now, when you do this, and I'll show you an example of a previous student before of how they've wrote it, keep in mind that this blog post is to have an introduction, a supporting body to the points that you want to make with a conclusion. I do not want to see the questions listed out. And again, this is a scenario where this blog post is like a letter of interest or a letter of inquiry that you have for a teaching position. And in this case, it's a teaching position that you have interest in. If you're in elementary, secondary, art, PE, whatever it is that you are wanting to be, that is the position that you're applying for. So with that said, there's your scenario. There's the questions. These are actual questions that have been used in interviews across the country. These are questions that were submitted to me by educators via a Google survey. So let's take a look at the final. Now, this link will get you to the example as well, but I already have it open here, so we're going to jump at it. Be creative with your titles. Don't just say final up there. That's something I should have stressed before in what you were doing in your blog posts. I always believe in creativity and not try to set so many step by step, or got to be a certain font, certain size, certain pages, double space. I want you guys to be creative. Be creative in your titles. I've seen it in your projects. I've seen it in some of your conversations in your writing, and continue going for it. As you see here, it's just, like I said, this is more of a letter of inquiry, a letter of interest. So you're going to start it out like you would do a typical letter. Kind of go through, write your stuff, your supporting points, information about it, summarize yourself, and then you're going to use the embed code in a Glogster. As you've seen, or hopefully have experimented with the technology in the Teaching Innovations Wiki Glogster, what you see here is, here's a picture of her and her family. She talks a little bit about them, gives you a background of who she is personally. Here she's created a little sticky note about her passions, things that that drives her, why she wants to be an educator. You'll also find, just some stuff that she likes, she finds interesting. Now, please keep in mind, don't make it so distracting that people don't understand. As you see here, here is her digital story. Here is her digital footprint video. Some of you may want to put your digital story from week 1 on there. You could even put your Voki, if you created a Voki, put that there. Maybe there's some other videos you have created for another class or just on your own that you would want to share. But basically, think of this Glogster as a way of not just in text saying who you are, but here are things that represent me. Here are things that stand for my beliefs, or here's my philosophy. And you could see again through here, here's a little video, her digital footprint as we talked about, and then she's even attached her classroom management plan, how she plans to handle her class. Think of adding your philosophy. Think of all those different items that may catch their attention when you're applying, that makes you stand out from all the rest that are in that thick pile. And again, that link was right in here at the bottom of the final scenario. The next thing I wanted to point out to you is going along those, same with the theme of the focus of your final project, is here's the rubric. So you'll click here and it's going to open up the rubric for you. And there are the content areas, content, conventions, organization, and again, remember, introductory, supporting points, your body, your conclusion. So all of that is going to be very important. Again, it's your voice that I want to be heard. Presentation, this is going to come back to your Glogster or the videos that you may include. Maybe if you're a music writer, you put some of your music in there that you've written. Just, again, provide things that let us know who you are and why we should be interested in bringing you in as our teacher in this new school scenario. And then the engagement. But you could see that these are going to be 4, category 4, and there's 5. So that's basically going to be 20 points each. This is a 100-point assignment. So that would be your rubric. And again, that is this one right here. Here's another thing about Glogster things. When we're talking about some ideas, this is another one where the students in a previous class, we had used a site called Webspirations. If you've used Kidspirations or Inspirations for mind mapping, this is the one that is web-based. Now, unfortunately, the reason I didn't go with it for you guys is it's a fee charge now. and I don't like using sites that cost you to use. I try to provide you with ideas and resources to ones that are free. But as you see here, your digital portfolio, or in this case a Glogster, and these are different ideas that they all came up with, or components that they felt needed to be there, or it could be, you know, the extra item or the extra point that gets their foot in the door compared to someone else. So that just gives you some ideas, some things to consider, what's in there. Now your Glogster tutorial video is right here. It'll take you through and show you how to use Glogster. An education Glogster site. We'll take this right quick. This is the link to the actual Glogster. Now I will send you individual username and passwords. And the reason for that is you're actually going to use one of my student accounts for your project, which enables me to help you if you have questions and get stumped in the process of creating your own Glogster. Now, the other point I want to point out here is this is an edu.glogster.com. There is just a basic glogster.com site, but it has some questionable materials that people create Glogster-wise. So Glogster, because of it being such a popular tool used by teachers, developed a side to it like Diigo that is educator friendly, so that way schools through their filter can allow Glogster edu to be accessed and used for creations compared to some of the other sites or even Glogster itself, and it keeps us in a flowered garden, you could say, and then that way we're protected but allowed to create, explore, design, you know, back to 21st century skills. So again, I will send you individual username and passwords for that. The next thing I'll just point out to you is here's my dashboard, how it looks in Glogster. And what I do encourage you to take time and explore and look through the Glogster at some of them that have been created. If there's some other ideas out there you want to take a look at, please feel free to drop me an email and I'll show you some links. But that kind of gives you the idea that you as a teacher can manage each individual student's account, see what's going on, and then you could set up a class and then put groups in each individual classes, and then when glogs are made in that class, it goes into your specific portfolio. So you have student portfolios there. Presentations. You know, that's one way of compiling Glogsters into your own version of a PowerPoint, your own version of a VoiceThread type presentation. Now, the next thing I want to also touch on here is going to be your digital stories. Your digital stories, like I said, I commend you on it. They've been very good, very solid. They definitely show the time that you've put into it, the thought process, and I hope it's something that you guys could start to see the value of and the benefits of how you might be able to use it in the classroom as an alternative to some other types of presentations or typical old-fashioned methods of reporting information, the regurging of stuff that they've read about. But what I do want you to keep in mind is documenting your images. Think about that. The final thing is, as you see here in Darren's video, he has went back in under description, hit edit, and gave a little more description about it. The biggest reason I want you guys to do this is, again, it gives me a little information, but also it gives you more of a learning experience of different things, different bits of information that you could include on these. Now, if you stop and think about these videos, what was so nice is you didn't have to try to email it to me. You didn't have to try all this long out process. All you had to do is upload in the Google Docs, share it with me. Think how fast that is compared to got to save it to the server. The teacher has to download it from the server, or I've got to save it to a jump drive and the jump drive's full. Just think about the simplicity but yet the flexibility that Google Apps provides you in creating documents, sharing them, the different types of things you can create, when you think about your surveys. And now, speaking of your surveys, back in here in the next portion that I want to talk about with this is going to be your final writing project for week 7. Basically, it's going to be simple. I want you to go back into your survey, and if you remember, when you're in your Google Docs home area, all you have to do is go back into your survey wherever it's listed, okay, and then take a look at, for example, I'm going to go blog recommendations. This is going to open up one of my surveys, and there it is. Here's the title, the URL, and any advice that that person has for pre-service students. So I want you to take your survey information and kind of summarize it. Again, opening paragraph, catch your attention, give us some points why we need to continue reading. And then in the body, support those reasons, and in the summary, kind of summarize, wrap up what you just explained to us. That is your blog post, your final one for a regular week activity writing assignment. So again, summarize the survey that you created. Now, if you don't have any information in it, make sure it's public. Make sure we get it shared out so we can get you some responses for that. And finally, this discussion for this week. In Edmodo, I'm going to post some questions, and basically it's this right here. What did you learn about technology integration before taking this course, or what did you know about it? What did you learn about integration in this course, and what more would you like to know about technology integration? Not difficult, just take some time and respond accordingly. And then that way we can carry on a conversation from there. So that is your week 7 assignments, discussion in Edmodo that we just saw, the survey reflection, taking your survey results and writing a blog post reflection. That's what's due this coming Sunday. Now, as you see over here on the right hand side under upcoming events, original discussion responses, by Thursday night to the questions, and then by Sunday respond to some of your classmates or questions that I may have put back out there and regarding your comments, along with the final piece of your survey reflection blog post, that being done Sunday. If you notice, your class or your job scenario blog post is going to be due on no later than 11:55 p.m. like most assignments on Thursday, August 11th. I have to have grades turned in by the 15th, so as long as you can get them done by the 11th, if you get them done sooner, that's awesome, that's great. Less for you to have to do later, and the sooner I can get stuff done and post it back to you. So again, no later than Thursday, August 11th is the time for this project, the course final project, to be done. Now, the final thing that I would like to do before I sign off for the very last time is use this video from simpletruths.com. This is a great website that has a lot of inspiration and motivational videos that you could stream free. You could purchase them, have them down on DVD. Some of them even come with manuals. But this one really sends a powerful message, in my opinion, to teachers. It's not something that happens in a school, but the message of it rings loud and clear, at least it does to me, about what the true role of an educator is. And with that, let me play this for you. And as the video ends there, will you be a Johnny today? I lay down the challenge to each and every one of you to follow your heart, show your passion as an educator, and leave those touching memories that will continue to inspire your students. God bless. Best wishes. Take care.